My dad always said, there's no such thing as bad language, just the bad use of language. And I've always kept that to my heart. Yeah, some of this stuff I don't want to say because it incriminates me a little bit too much. The thing about my dad is, you know, Disney World, Rockaway, Coney Island, all those things that you want to do with your kids to impress them. My most memorable time with my pop was just our walks and talks. And I'll never forget him. And him pointing out things to me, and I would learn something new and different every time I took a stroll or had a conversation with my pop, and he was just... I learned something new and different every time I had a conversation. My dad loved to used to take walks. We used to go on walks and just discuss everything. And what I say to my kids is this is something that when I was saying it to my kids, I said, this is my dad saying it to me. I tell my kids, Riley and Cassidy from England. Say hi, guys. I say to my kids, life is like an all-you-can-eat buffet. If you walk away hungry, it's your own fault. If you're waiting for someone to come and serve you, it's not gonna happen. So you walk away hungry, you get left with the bill. And always, another thing about the all-you-eat buffet and life, don't fill up on the junk in the front, because all the good stuff is in the middle and in the back. So that's about it for me. I want to thank everybody for coming. This is so nice. Unfortunately, after 3 o'clock, when that sign comes down, we're charging rent to each and every one of you. I want to introduce my brother Connor now. Thank you for your attention, everybody.
Thanks, Malachy. I'm so glad that my brother Cormac came here from California over there with his son Declan and my brother Malachy. And thank you, Gail. You've been in my life since I was a kid. Your foster kid, Michael Winter, was a very, very close friend and ate a lot of our cereal upstairs in 680. So just a couple things is my father, Malachy, lived on 93rd and Broadway before he lived right here in 680. My mother lived on 93rd and Riverside, and then they met, had me as a baby, and moved in here. And so that's interesting about this intersection. And right here, can we all give a kiss to Angela? She lived on the first floor, right over there. My grandmother. And when I was, up until I was 16, when she died, on the first floor over on that little building, I used to sit on her windowsill in the morning and bring her, you know, some milk or whatever for her tea. So 93rd is a very important thing for the McCourts. It's not just 680, it's not just Dad, but it's all of you, the community, and New York. I was a beat cop here on the Upper West Side, and so all those things are very important, and thanks for recognizing not only my father, but my mom, Diana, and all of the family. So beautiful people here. Give yourselves a round of applause. And so my beautiful children, Juliet, Gigi was singing the songs when we got here, and my son Cole and Gus I'd like to acknowledge. And of course, my sister Siobhan. What a great job, huh, Siobhan? Where are you, Siobhan? Yeah, baby. It all came together, huh? And my Aunt Ellen, Frank's wife. Whoa! Yeah. And if I missed anybody, you kick. Huh? Oh, and come here. All right, come here, Mark. Mark is my office manager in the forensic video place. So if you need some forensics done, call him up. Raise your hand, Mark, and he'll make an appointment. All right? and we'll figure it all out. All right, sorry to keep you. All right, it's, oh, John. My man, John, over here.
All right, our final guest is the one and only Gale Brewer. Now, everyone thinks that Gale Brewer can do anything. That's BS. I had her on the radio a couple of weeks, and I said, was there any opposition when you brought it up at the meetings, anywhere you went? She said, no. I said, you gotta be kidding. This is Malachy McCourt. Do you follow him on Facebook? I mean, everybody hates him. How did this go through without any opposition? So here's Gale Brewer, who managed to do it without any opposition to Malachy McCourt. I think that's heresy.
Thank you very much, John. So I am Gale Brewer, and I'm very grateful to the McCourt family for allowing me to join you and speak at this street co-naming for Malachy McCourt. What a lot of work this unveiling event entailed, particularly to get the sign passed into law by the City Council. Siobhan and Connor had to collect 100 and then 300 signatures from neighbors because, with all due respect, Community Board 7 changed its procedure in the middle of the effort. And then CB7 decided that, quote, deceased individuals must have been so for 10 years unless tied to an extraordinary historical event or circumstances. So, this appeared in the midst of the effort to get Malachy hung, as Siobhan put it. In stepped the first vice chair of CB7, Doug Kleiman, who made it clear to the other members of the board that Malachy was extraordinary. In fact, he was a local, national, international event all by himself. And it worked. And after a transportation committee in April of this year and a full board meeting in May, Malachy was approved, the resolution passed. And I remember calling Connor before a mistake was made on the wording, as you heard from Siobhan. Do you want way, street, or what? You see, we want lane, like Limerick Lane. It was a perfect answer. At the City Council, there was a Parks Committee and then a full council vote. Siobhan attended all of them, and she had to sit and wait for hours at City Hall for the stated meeting to start, as some crazy land use issue held it up. But this isn't very touching, because when the vote was finally taken and I spoke at the floor about my love for Malachy, Speaker Adrian Adams texted me a photo of her and Malachy, and I responded with one of mine. It was very touching from her. Mine was taken at the annual reception sponsored by the Consul General of Ireland around St. Patrick's Day a few years ago. We missed him just this week at the recent gathering at the Consul General's headquarters celebrating UN Week. I kept thinking he would wheel in the door. I want to echo what others have said to thank Cynthia Hornick from my office, who shepherded this process from beginning to end, answering questions and making sure nothing went awry. Thank you, Cynthia. I don't remember when I first met Malachy, but it might have been when Connor was in elementary or high school and was friends with Michael Winter, who was in foster care and living with me. He talked about cereal, but what I remember was they hung out in my house playing in a band in the apartment, not to the pleasure of the upstairs neighbors. That was a long time ago. Michael's married and living in California, and to the credit of Connor, he goes to visit him, and he and Doug and Michael and Connor were all in school together. Very special. There are millions of Malachy stories, and everyone here has one. I love the warmth that Malachy always displayed on top of his humor, his fearlessness, and his deeply held political views. Every time I saw him, he had a smile, a hug, and words that were encouraging, because everything in my world as an elected official is like trying to get this friggin' sign approved. And he understood that. I adored him. Malachy ran for governor on the Green Party line. He was a soap opera actor. He sold Bibles door to door in Fire Island early in his varied career. He wrote a weekly column for the West Side Spirit for 4 years in the early 2000s. He wrote books. He performed at Symphony Space and elsewhere, as you know, in theatrical productions. He wrote thousands of entries on Facebook. I loved them. But the content was such that he was often thrown off the platform, and Siobhan had to get him back on. And of course, the first singles bar was named after him, Malachy's. Speaking of writing, Tom Allen, who's here tonight, and his son Jonah have just completed a book called Says I to Myself, the collected essays of Frank and Malachy McCourt. And it will be published in September 2026, the 30th anniversary of Angela's ashes. Malachy and the entire McCourt family have been good to the Frank McCourt High School, which is located on the Brandeis campus on West 84th Street. Tom Allen and I started that school when Frank was alive, and he told us, how come schools are always named after dead presidents and not dead teachers? Tom and Frank taught together at Tom's alma mater, Stuyvesant High School, and we named the school at Brandeis after him when he passed. Malachy never missed a McCourt High School event, and the school has turned out to be an extraordinary academic institution known for great teaching and great writing classes. In fact, Malachy went to all school events for his children and grandchildren. I saw him at the Center School fundraisers, in bars, everywhere. Malachy McCourt Lane is a wonderful tribute to a very great human being. One of his many Facebook comments, which today might get him deported. There's no use beating around the old bush. Trump is the most perfect of all arseholes ever created by the creator of arseholes.
All right, if the McCourt family can follow Gail over to the hanging of Malachy McCourt here on 93rd Street. And I think there'll be some music by John Kearns.
John, is this a fundraiser for the is this a fundraiser?
I can't do it.
There, you have to come over here.
And Mary Courtney will be going over, I guess, with Al Gonzalez.
Yeah. Hey, John, should I get up on the chair or?